Hey, what up, you guys? Rasathi out here in Singapore, and it's kind of early on a Saturday morning here. November, y'all. Man, we have what, maybe 4 weeks left in the year? No, 6 weeks. I'm sorry, I don't know what I was thinking. There's a whole month left, and there's another 2 weeks in this month, right? So we got about 6 months left in the year, and been doing a lot of reflecting. So yesterday we had a Tamil Festival comedy show. Had the opportunity to sit down, relax, enjoy myself with people, and I really enjoy that aspect of being able to go somewhere and enjoy something with people in like a social setting, right? Where we're not drinking and smoking and joking and stuff, but we're actually having fun, we're being respectable, we're supporting another person's craft. I think that's important. I think it's really, really big that we throw our support behind people and events that are meaningful. There's the American Cancer Society event coming up soon, and a couple of other things. But it's nice, not to be at a club, at a party, but to actually do something that is supportive of another person's work, because it shows that you have the capacity to acknowledge that other people are putting out content as well, that other people are trying to do something with their lives as well. And the more we do that, encourages more people to get up and do what they love most. So yesterday was about comedy, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect. First of all, because as much as I do speak Tamil, I still need subtitles sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, um, but it was a mix. It was some of it was Indian comedy in English, and some of it was in Tamil. But I really truly appreciate the people who pay attention to the crowd, who are feeding off of the crowd to be able to tell, okay, what's relevant to them, how are they responding to the simple jokes. And I know that there's a strategy for most comedians. How do they come up with their content? They have to have like contingency plans just in case the jokes aren't falling well. Um, and I think it was just amazing to be able to get together with Colors Pack, and this comedy festival that they're putting up for the first time, because I get a chance to see what the content looks like. What is it, what is out there? What's relevant? How are people actually responding? What do people find interesting and important to talk about? Because that comes out in the comedy a lot of times. A lot of times it's about the tragedies they've lived through, and they make it funny because, it's relatable. Other people have been through that too. And sometimes it's just based on current events. If you've noticed, people people like late night television hosts. They're usually very well known comedians, either from stand up or from like Saturday Night Live or Mad TV or whatever. And they use the current events to make sure that, they poke fun, harmless fun, at what's going on, but they want you to know, hey, yo, did you know this is going on? It's being taken as a joke. And did you know that these people are, in positions of power and they're not taking things seriously? It's almost like we get more news from comedy sometimes than we do from the actual news itself, because all of that is bought, right? You can't really buy comedy. You can't really pay off someone who's doing comedy. I don't think. That's my opinion. Um, but yeah, so last night, it was pretty damn fun. I got to meet a lot of people, hang out with people I haven't hung out with before, but I did get a revelation. And this is the myth of popularity that I wanted to discuss tonight, right? I feel like in Singapore, we are very, very extraordinarily lucky because we have a platform that we can promote our content. We have, Tamil channels. We have people that are looking to create new content. We have scriptwriters, we have DOPs, we have directors, all of that in Tamil culture itself. Obviously, English culture is easy. Chinese culture, we will always have, stuff in Chinese mainstream media. But for us to have something in the Tamil culture is actually amazing. And I did not realize that Vasantham is only about 11 years old now. But the fact that we built it from nothing, we didn't have it to begin with. We built it out of nothing. We showed the world that, hey, we've got stuff we want to do too. And slowly it's coming up. So from here, though, we have a handful of people who have decided, okay, I'm going to go the art route. I'm going to go do theater. I'm going to do, movies, hosting, all that stuff. And they have the platform now. So the people that have been in the game at the moment have been in the game for a while. They know what they're doing. Um, they're they're veterans, right? And they know what the game is like. They've been in the scene for a while. And some of them, you can tell, you can tell the cream of the wheat or whatever. Some of them are very, very talented and they stick to their craft. And some of them are, they're also talented, but they're using the popularity so that they can go out and actually have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I'm saying that there are two different kinds of, people who in how they deal with popularity. Me, I've never been popular. Okay? as much as I talk online, a lot of it is actually out of pure nerves. I really appreciate my podcast more than I do going live because I get stressed out a little bit. And there was a time where I was like, you know what? I told myself, nah, it's not important that I get dressed up. It's not important that I, look nice on screen or whatever because I want the message to be key. I want the message to be important. And that worked for a while. But now that I've done this for quite some time now, I'm getting this message that, hey, you need to up your game a little bit. You need to stay relevant because more and more people are creating, more and more people are submitting stuff online, and yours, as relevant as the message is, your reach is not getting there anymore. Your reach is to improve. So I understand the myth of popularity from a different angle now. Back in the movie, coming of age movies and stuff, they talk about, oh man, she fought to become popular. She changed who she was. She compromised on her ideals and her values, blah blah blah. She did whatever she had to do to get the popular crowd's eye, right? She joined in with them. She did what she needed to do. I mean, every coming of age movie, even 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That. They're all like cliche movies, right? Breakfast Club, they actually had to spend time with each other to realize that, hey, okay, these people aren't that crazy and they're not that different from me. Every one of us have been through some of the same similar emotions and similar experiences. So they took things a little bit more seriously, but at some point they had to give up who they were to become who they thought they wanted to be. And mostly because they needed to realize that who they thought they needed to be was not actually authentic and not helpful to them either. So, with all that being said, what I'm realizing is I have an advantage. I didn't grow up here. I'm not from here. I am and I'm not. I'm a local foreigner, right? I like to say that. I don't do the same things everybody else does. I did not become a voice for the people by doing what everyone else is doing. I did not amass a ton of content by doing what everyone else is doing. And there was a time where I felt like, people really loved me and they wanted to see me around and I used to go clubbing all the time. It was nice. It really was. But then I also realized I was hemorrhaging money for no good reason. Um, and not in a way that, it was going to come back to me either. I was just wasting money. And it wasn't that I was wasting time. I enjoyed the time. I enjoyed being around people, but I just felt like I was not being productive in a way that benefited me or anyone else. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to give up on this. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to work on the things that I think are important. And then it became more about, Kutiji and the content that I was creating, who the person I was trying to become, basically, right? And while I have this new platform now, this media platform, through Vasantham, through Media Corps, through Channel 5, through Empire Artists, through It's Okay to Be Not Okay, all of that, I'm not taking that for granted. I'm not saying I'm not going to do the work. I will definitely do the work. I want to do the work. But I was reminded last night of what it's like to be in the spotlight all the time, what it's like to be with, other people who are chilling, having a good time, where I'm trying to build something. You hear me? So I'm not knocking anybody's lifestyle. Please, please do not get me wrong. Understand what I'm saying here. I did not get here by being average. I didn't get to this place in my life where I can sit at home and create content for a living by accident. I did not get there by socializing all the time and doing things just like everybody else does. I had to put in more effort. I had to work longer days. I had to sleep a little bit less. I had to give up a lot of things that were hmm, not always great choices because I get migraines, but I don't sleep well, right? You already know this. But I didn't do things the way everyone else did. Sure, absolutely. I meet people. I love networking, but I can't network all the time either. I got to put in content. I gotta feed my brain. I gotta make sure that the people I spend time with are people who can help elevate me too. And it's not to say that I'm using the people around me by any means. It means that I need to feed myself appropriately. If everybody's going out to eat and everybody eats sushi, right? And maybe I'm allergic to certain types of fish, I can't go out and just eat sushi all the time. I got to be very careful. I got to be aware. I got to be observant. If everybody goes out and starts drinking like early in the day or whatever and continues drinking throughout the night, I got to be strong. I got to be smart. I got to make sure that I get back home to baby girl. I don't get caught up in no nonsense. I've gotten to a place in my life where I've learned that, you know what, I can't be making the same mistake over and over again. I don't have that kind of time to waste. Some of y'all are stuck on a merry-go-round. You get off, you get on, you get off, you get on. And that's your bag. That's cool. That's up to you. That's your decision. That's where you are at the moment. That's the lesson you've been presented with. Hey, you got to master this first. I get it. I've been there. I had a really rough time in relationships. Very rough time in relationships. Because I'm the kind of person that kind of puts everything I want and need and am down by the riverside, and I become who you need me to be. Because I care that much that you succeed. And that's cool and that's sweet and everything, but you know what? At one point, do I pick back my stuff? What time do I go back and get all my things and get my house in order again? Usually when there's a breakup. And at that point, I can't even remember where I put everything. So this myth of popularity, yeah, you gotta fight to become pop, and then you gotta fight to keep it. And for me, I've never needed to be popular. Yeah, it's fun. It feels good. Absolutely. Strokes your ego. Builds you up a little bit. But then suddenly it becomes this thing where you need people around you all the time in order to feel important. And no, I'm not going to do that again. I'm not doing that again. I woke up this morning and I reflected on the night before. And there are aspects of it that were marvelous. And I wouldn't have gotten to those aspects without other aspects that weren't so great. And that's okay once in a while. In order for me to function well, efficiently, I need to learn to say no to other people and yes to me. I need to find a way to stay out of the spotlight when it's not my time. As in, all the world is stage and all of us are players on it, right? Which means every player at some point gets the spotlight. I see people out there that are used to being in the spotlight and don't know what to do if they're not in the spotlight. I'm a really great wallflower. Yes, absolutely. When I dress up, you were meant to notice that I dressed up. When I don't, I'm just another face in the crowd. And I'm good with that because that's where I observe best. That's where I get to notice what people are doing, what they're up to. I get to understand where you come from and what you got going on in your life. I get to see the world for what it is. So I'm saying, all these celebrities that you see out there, their lives are not easy. The more people know about you, the more they want to talk about your life. That's not fun. They say familiarity breeds contempt. We know way too much about all these celebrities. We should know about the characters and maybe a little bit about who they are and what they're doing, and that's it. Enough. As I was talking to a bunch of people yesterday, it occurred to me I know someone who is quite successful, very well recognized face, and they keep to themselves. When they have to go out and do something, they do it. And other than that, they don't. They chill. They're by themselves. And honestly speaking, the amount of respect I have for that character, that actor, it was talking about this person that made me realize that, you know what? They had the right idea. I need to go back to what I've been doing. Show up every once in a while. Show the world that I really do exist. I'm alive. I'm doing the work. But create. Teach. Do the work that's really, really important. Do the work that matters. And the rest, it'll still be there. This is how I play the long game. This is how I don't fizzle out and get a bad rap before I even get started. I have plenty to say. I have so much to teach you guys. I want to help you heal. But I can't do that if I'm always in the spotlight and you're always worrying about what I'm doing and what I'm up to next. You hear me? All right, you guys, I'm going to call it, and I'll catch you again soon. I have a class to teach here in a little bit. But yeah, think about that. Being popular, sure, the spotlight is on you. But if all the world's a stage and all the people in it are players on the stage, that means everybody needs some time in the spotlight, which means you can't hog it. You got to walk out of the spotlight at some point. If for nothing else but to recharge, to take care of yourself. I love you guys. I'll catch you again soon. Bye.